Let's do this. Let's see here. All right, that as always, it is Wednesday, which means Brandon will be joining us. Is great that we're there at this point of the season already, week 2. So we have a lot to, which should be joining us on Instagram Live. Oh, there he is, bro.
Doing good. How about you?
I am doing good, man. Thank you so much for asking. Well, I was telling the good folks that it is week 2 now, so we're just moving it right along, my man. How you feeling?
Yeah, week 2. Yay.
Yeah, I know. We wait forever, and then it just comes just as like that, just like that, my man. Yeah, that's how it is. But yeah, I mean, I'm ready whenever you are, my man. You ready to get this started?
Let's do it.
All right. So, for the second year in a row, the Minnesota Vikings are going to take on the Philadelphia Eagles in a primetime slot. They're going to be on for the first Thursday night football game on Amazon this year. It's very weird to say that because the first one was last Thursday, but Amazon Prime, it's like the home of Thursday night football. It's weird, whatever. But yeah, you have the Minnesota Vikings who had a heartbreaker of a loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Philadelphia Eagles escape. I wouldn't say cruising by, but they did escape a win in a harsh environment against the New England Patriots. So Brandon, who do you have in this matchup? Do you have the Minnesota Vikings or do you have the Philadelphia Eagles?
I got a team that doesn't have Kirk Cousins. Is that good enough to say?
That's good. That's fair. That's fair enough to say.
Listen. It's one thing losing to Tampa. That's one thing. I get it. First week of the season, they ain't really playing preseason. I get it. Shit happens. It's a whole nother thing for you to throw for like 400 yards and have like 4 turnovers in the red zone. That's a goddamn shame. There's nothing we can say about that. There's nothing to be done about that. That is all a Kirk Cousins fucking. I don't care about nothing else. We said this yesterday. We need to reiterate. All the games Minnesota won last year, they're probably going to lose this year. They won a lot of one-score games, one-possession games. Well, guess what? This year, you're probably going to lose a lot of one-possession games. Do I expect them to be good tomorrow against, Philly? Not really. I mean, that offensive line is not great. Jalen Carter is alive and well, as far as I'm concerned. I've seen him play. I know he's alive and well.
No, that's fair.
And on top of that, this is going to be the first time you're going to see Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis both be starters for that defensive line because Fletcher Cox is going to be out. So, and you might get a heavy dose of DeAndre Swift, which, by the way, Minnesota did not fix that defense. They just brought in a lot of goddamn pieces and didn't fix the defense. And I don't think that's a Brian Flores fault. I just think that they got a lot of pieces that they got to just work through because for the first 2 weeks, you go from Tampa, who barely is trying to literally tank, to Philadelphia, who is literally trying to get back to the Super Bowl. That is the worst luck I've ever seen a team have in football. Like, that is the worst.
It's pretty rough. Luck. That's pretty rough. Yeah, that's rough. I agree too. It's just I think the curse lives on. Captain Kirk on prime time is no bueno for the majority of his career, and I think it's going to continue like that as well. And obviously, like you mentioned, we are going to get some fresh faces. We're going to see Jordan Davis take on, Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter be together. Obviously, so many key factors into this. I just think right now what's really happening to Minnesota is I think it's it happens every year. There's teams every year that, they win these close games. And then, they live, they ride the lightning for so long that now it's come to bit them in the butt. And I think this is just one of those cases, and that's why I have Philadelphia winning this game too. And it would be such a rough way for Minnesota to start the season 0-2, and with that vision that they're in, and now with everything looking on the outside in, I don't know if they can recover from this. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes.
I have Minnesota.
Looks like me and Brandon got Philadelphia. Next up, we have Green Bay taking on Atlanta. Now, both of these teams won their opening games. Green Bay going to Chicago beat the Chicago Bears, and Atlanta beat the Carolina Panthers. And I think this is very interesting. Aaron Jones, hey, what up, Timo? Aaron Jones being out now has to add a little bit of a factor to deciding this game. And then also now Atlanta. Are they really legit, or are they just meeting these teams at the right time? And I think this is where we're going to have to start having a discussion soon if Atlanta keeps doing what they're doing. But Brandon, who do you got in this one? Do you have Green Bay or do you have Atlanta?
Does Atlanta feel like a team that's just going to be playing a lot of weak team early, which is going to boost their confidence, and then they're going to play a really good team, and then you're going to be like, well, that shit didn't go well. Like it feels like that right now. They have the second easiest schedule in the NFL behind the Saints. They should win a lot of these games. I just don't see them winning this game. I'm sorry to say it. I just don't see them winning this game. Listen, you play Carolina, Bryce Young on the road. This is not Carolina. This is not Carolina. They don't have a bad offensive line. They don't have an offense, a running game that you kind of sort of probably like, I guess could be good. You might not have Aaron Jones, but you might get Christian Watson back. I think Jordan Love played too damn well last week. I know people are going to sit here and say, well, he played against Chicago. Everybody plays good against Chicago. But let's not forget, Carolina did kind of drop the ball up and down the field against Atlanta.
Yeah.
Even with a bad offensive line.
Yeah.
They still drove the goddamn ball up and down the goddamn field against Atlanta. If it wasn't Bryce Young's early turnovers, they probably win that fucking game.
Yeah.
So, and here's the thing. You can't only hide Desmond Ridder for so fucking long till he has to actually make plays. That's the difference between Green Bay last week and Atlanta last week. Jordan Love made goddamn plays. He actually showed up. He actually made plays. We still don't know if Desmond Ridder's good. We have no idea.
And that's the thing. Like, we're still looking for that moment.
We have no idea if Drake London is even a receiver. We damn sure know Kyle Pitts can be a great receiver in the regular season. He is not that guy. So this Atlanta euphoria that people keep screaming about, that they're going to be, they're lucky that they're going to finish second in the division. That is literally the best thing I can say. They're lucky they're going to finish second in the NFC South. Because if you stop the running game of Atlanta, you beat Atlanta. That's literally what I've been saying this entire year. Even when we was doing predictions, I said if you beat Atlanta with the run, you stop Atlanta's running game, they have nothing else. And guess what? Green Bay is the right team to show you they have nothing outside of running that damn ball. If you stop Bijan Robinson, you pretty much stop Atlanta.
Yeah, and last week I went with Green Bay over Chicago because I just really believe that nobody's really talking about this Packers defense like people should. And and that's the sort of the thing I was trying to make a point last week when I did pick Chicago, or when I picked Green Bay. Heading into this offseason, I don't really think nobody really understood that, this Green Bay defense is not bad. Like, it's really good. My only concern heading into it was, man, if Jordan Love does not play up to par, I'm not saying he has to be the next Hall of Famer. He just has to play well enough to where the defense can allow for them to get extra possessions and get the time going. And I think that's what you saw with the Chicago matchup. And I really expect the Green Bay Packers defense to really just get after Desmond Ridder, really get after this running game. And, again, Drake London, he dressed, but he had the same amount of yards as I did, and I was drinking my ass off on the couch. I was drinking my ass off on the couch.
Drake London was in the building. I don't even know if he was in the game, but he damn sure was in the building.
Yeah. So for me, I got to go with Green Bay. I think the defense is going to be too much. It's not even the offense. Again, everybody's worried about the Aaron Jones and everything. I really wouldn't be worried about it this week. I would just be more. I wouldn't worry about it this week because of the team against Atlanta. It doesn't even matter who's back there because that defense is going to overpower Atlanta's offense.
You stop their running game. Desmond Ritter, who is he throwing the ball to? Because his best receiver is Drake London. Well, he's going to be covered by Jameer Alexander. That's a done deal. So who the fuck is he throwing the ball to? Kyle Pitts? Like, really? Like, that's, you trust Kyle Pitts still? This is the funniest thing. I've never seen people that literally still sit here and say, well, Kyle Pitts is good. To who? Who the fuck is Kyle Pitts?
To you fantasy owners? To you delusional fantasy owners?
Who the fuck is... Seriously, like, they literally... People will still sit up here and say, I literally, when they posted earlier this year that the Atlanta Falcons have the third best offensive weapons, I was like, so who? Motherfucker. Drake London can't, if he catches, he fumbles. Kyle Pitts only scores touchdowns outside of the United States.
Yeah, I saw that post. And I literally wanted to comment. I literally wanted to comment, like, dude, my running back alone is better than all of your three freaking key players. Like, and that's not even adding Devontae Adams into the fucking picture. That's just Josh Jacobs alone is better than all three of you motherfuckers right now. Like, let's.
And Josh Jacobs didn't even play in preseason. He was like, fuck that.
And like, he just said, nah, dog. Nah. Screw this.
I need people to stop trying to make Atlanta a thing.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I really don't. But no, I think for me, I think the Green Bay Packers defense, if you got them in fantasy, this is the week to start them because I think they're just going to really overpower the Atlanta Falcons offense this week.
And I also get it. They're on the road, but that shit don't matter.
Yeah, they were on the road last week, and they looked perfectly fine. So, enough said. So, it looks like me and Brandon both have Green Bay here. Now, next game, we have the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Buffalo Bills. The Raiders ruining Sean Payton's return to the NFL. I guess, yeah, it was a very weird game. Let's put it like that. It was a very weird game on both ends. And then you had the Buffalo Bills who probably had a night that they probably want to forget. And this is where I'm starting to get a little worried because me personally, I do like Josh Allen in a sense that I think he is a okay like he's a good quarterback and everything like that. The problem now is with all the time that we've seen and all the film we have on him, Josh Allen is getting to that point where I'm getting a little scared where Josh Allen is either the greatest thing since sliced bread or he's worse than Mark Sanchez. And there's really no in between, bro. There's really no in between. Like, I'll be honest, look, when he's on it, he looks like the greatest thing. He looks like the greatest thing on earth. He looks like the greatest thing on earth. When he's on fire and and he's doing his game, he looks like the greatest thing on earth. He can run, he can throw, he can do amazing things. But when he's off his game, you might as well just call him Mark Sanchez 2.0. It's not effective there. And why do I say that? Who's had more turnovers recently? Who's had more turnovers? Josh Allen. Who's had closer to more fumbles? The only reason Trevor Lawrence isn't higher is because Josh Allen is like really screwing this up. And it's very hard now for me to really see now. When you lose one overtime game, hey, shit happens, dude. When you lose two, hey, man. When you lose three, now that the point that you have lost, you're 0-5 in your career in overtime games. Look, man, I still want to keep Josh Allen on that tier 1. But it's getting very scary to me now where if he keeps playing like this, he'll be an elite tier 2. But as far as tier 1, we're gonna have to all, even Buffalo fans that are probably gonna watch this later, you even have to sit back and be like, dude, when Josh Allen's on it, he's on it. But when he's off his game, man, he is off his game.
I could have sworn we had this conversation right after they lost to Cincinnati in a playoff game. So we had this conversation.
Oh, we did, but they didn't want to listen. They didn't want to listen.
I said Buffalo is not the San Diego Chargers. They're going to be good enough to maybe, probably, get to the AFC Championship game if everything goes wrong for Kansas City and Cincinnati. They will never be the team to get to the goddamn Super Bowl. And it's all because of Josh Allen. We can, listen, I get people that want to sit here and say, Buffalo still has a chance. No, the fuck they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't. They're done this season.
I could not imagine if you're on the Bills sideline, Aaron Rodgers went down. You have all the momentum in the first half, and then
I saw him literally walk out the pocket, get out the pocket, and just throw the fucking ball. Who are you throwing into?
And not only that, he had Stephon Diggs on an open route to end the game, and he didn't even look his way. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, it is when he's off, man. And it's just getting to the point now where I'm just like, listen, do I believe that Josh Allen is one of the better quarterbacks in this league? Sure, absolutely. Here's the thing: when James Cook was running and they were being effective, guess what? The Bills were rolling. The second they stopped doing that. The second they stopped handing the ball off to James Cook, all hell went loose. All hell went to loose. Like, all hell went loose, man.
That shit was so bad. What the fuck were they thinking? Oh, my God.
Yes, let's stop giving it to the guy that's getting us at least close to like 3-4 yards of fucking carry in this tight matchup. Sure.
James Cook was running the ball better than his brother.
And that's saying a lot. And
yeah.
So
he was out running his brother. Like, that's saying a lot.
It's scary to me. I mean, we're gonna see how it goes. But Brandon, do you have the Raiders or do you have no? He's unfortunately out for the next 2 weeks. No.
Okay, I got the Raiders. I got the Raiders.
Oh my God.
I got the Raiders. Listen. Buffalo, congratulations. You lost in overtime to the Jets, who put in Zach goddamn Wilson. How the fuck is that possible? How is that possible? You didn't fix the offensive line at all. Still haven't fixed it. But you draft another fucking tight end because you're Buffalo. And you're going to always have Josh Allen. Well, guess what? Now he's a turnover machine. And you can't do shit about it. You can't stop him. You cannot stop this turnover machine, even if you want to. And Max Crosby is playing. Max Crosby is playing. So, good fucking luck, Buffalo. I don't know what you want me to say. If you ask me right now, which quarterback I'd rather have, give me Jimmy Garoppolo.
And that's saying a lot right now.
Because at least I know he's not going to put the ball somewhere where he knows damn well is going to probably be in harm's way. I don't know if that's Josh Allen. Josh Allen is literally that offense is literally Stephon Diggs or nothing.
It is kind of sad though that he does have more completions to Aaron Rodgers' teammates than Aaron Rodgers, but that's not here nor there. So
listen, he has. Jordan Whitehead had to send him like a flower basket or like a fruit basket for all of
a thank you card for like.
He sent him some money, something like that was. This man
Jordan Whitehead is a lot closer to his incentives thanks to Josh Allen. Like, thanks to Josh Allen alone, bro. I bet you in his incentives, it's like, okay, you have to get 6 interceptions and we'll give you another like $2 million. He's like halfway there now because of Josh Allen.
And that's really the incentive. They didn't fuck themselves.
My God. No, so for me in this game,
me right now.
And I think that's where I have to kind of disagree with you. I am going to take Buffalo in this one, only due to the fact that they have a sour taste in their mouth. The fan base is not going to allow this Raiders team to come in and try to beat them at home. Now, would it be a really sad day if Buffalo does lose this Sunday? Because now they're 0-2. And then you have to look within house and be like, yo, we're 0-2, and the schedule only gets harder from here.
Here's the thing. They don't have really like a pass rush, Buffalo. They don't really have a pass rush. The Jets' offensive line suck. That's just a way different thing. But let's not act like the Jets wasn't running up and down the fucking field with Brees Hall. You telling me Josh Jacobs can't do that shit on Buffalo?
And by the way, and here's the crazy thing. Kansas City had the best passing win rate in week 1. Do you want to take a guess on who number 2 was?
Shits.
The Raiders. So it's going to be very interesting because I want to take Buffalo here only because of the fact of one thing. Now, here's the thing. That Raiders team that you saw on Sunday, that's going to be them. They're going to be competitive, and they're going to take you to the freaking wire. That's them. And whether they win or lose, they're going to be competitive as hell. With Buffalo, they better get their act together, because if they let this Raiders team go into Buffalo and they lose, now we're having Monday is going to be overreaction everywhere at that point. What is wrong with the Bills, and what is wrong with Josh Allen? And again, the Raiders get no love. And then it's like, it's not even about the fact that the Raiders won. It's more what's going on in Buffalo. So for the Buffalo Bills' sake, they need to win this game just to get the spotlight out of them.
Here's the problem with the Buffalo Bills. That run defense suck. They didn't fix it. That damn run defense still sucks. And outside of Tre'Davious White, you don't have a cornerback that you trust.
Outside of the linebackers that can actually stop the run, that defensive line was meant to rush the passer. It wasn't meant because of the finesse. Because of the finesse, it wasn't meant to stop the run. It was more meant to stop the passer. But the problem is, when you play teams that are run heavy, like the Jets, possibly like the Raiders, like the 49ers, you're going to get exposed. You're going to get exposed. When you're playing teams against running back against committee type of teams, it's going to be a long day. And the Bills have to figure something out quick, because if they don't, then I don't know what else.
And you can't stack the box. Because then you have Devontae Adams one-on-one, and he don't kill you.
So
this ain't Zach Wilson. Jimmy Garoppolo will get the ball to Devontae Adams.
Like, let's not get this twisted, okay? Like, let's not. And here's the thing: Jacoby Myers will be back.
I was about to say that.
And it's like, oh, dude, no.
You got a Hunter Winthrow in the slot. Like, they have Michael Mayer just over the top. Like, you got problems.
Yeah. So, if Buffalo loses this one, 0-2 is going to be very for me. So. Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, Brandon's got the Raiders. I got Buffalo. I think we're all going to be keeping an eye on that one for sure. Oof. Next up, we got Baltimore, Cincinnati. Baltimore with a great win. It came a great win, but it came with heavy losses. J.K. Dobbins is out for the year. Tyler Linderbaum has injury issues. Odell Beckham Jr., unfortunately, he's got some injuries going on right now. And the Cincinnati Bengals just flat out stunk. There's no other way to put it. They stunk against the Cleveland Browns. So, Brandon, in this one, who do you have? Do you have the Ravens or do you have the Bengals?
I got Joe Cool. I got Joe Burrow.
And it's easy to see why, because when it comes to Joe Burrow playing the Ravens, easy 250, 300 yards passing. It's easy, man.
Arena football
numbers. God. Baltimore, do something. Did Burrows get hurt last game? Yeah. His pride. That's what got hurt. His freaking pride, man.
Listen, man. Shit. The injuries to Baltimore is one thing. That offense don't look good. they didn't like that offense. Don't look good. It don't look good.
Without Mark Andrews, it doesn't look good.
It don't look good. Like, it's like if Mark Andrews isn't playing in this game too.
And here's the thing: I'm actually kind of like disappointed by that because I thought with Isaiah Likely, I thought he would connect more with Lamar, but Lamar's not even trying. He not even trying to look. And I'm like, dude, Isaiah Likely is probably going to be your security blanket. You might as well try.
And it's like, I don't know if Justin Hill is ready to be the number one guy. Gus Edwards. I don't know if any of those dudes are ready to be the number one running back for the Ravens because they had a chance last year and they shit the bed too. So I'm not going to sit here and think.
Now, here's my question to you. If you're Baltimore and after a couple weeks, if you see that the running game's not going, do you call Indy? Do you at least have a discussion with Indy about Jonathan Taylor?
I'm calling Indy as soon as I heard J.K. Dobbins was out for the fucking year. I was calling him then.
Okay.
Like, I'm not even sitting there and playing. Like, because if Lamar Jackson is your only run game and you're trying to not let him be that, you already screwed up.
Now, I do want to say this, though. There is one part of the passing attack that is working, and I'm very happy that it's working. Zay Flowers. I'm telling you right now, man, there's a reason me and you both had him in the first rounder because he is that dude. He is that dude. All right? He was putting the work on those secondary, on Derek Stingley on Sunday, man. He was putting the work. It wasn't even and here's the thing. Like, yes, I know Kareem Hunt has been like a popular name. But for me, when it comes to Kareem Hunt, what made him so threatening back in his earlier, I mean, it sucks to say because he's not that old, but in his earlier days was his acceleration. But now it seems like since he's been the backup and all that stuff, it really seems that that's kind of gone. Like, it's just getting, as the years go by, it's not there. Now, do I think he's still a serviceable backup for a good option team? Yeah, absolutely.
Here's the thing. If the coach don't want to budge, I know a team that would love to trade their running back right the fuck now. And that is the Rams. Because let's be real, Cam Akers is not their guy.
Yeah, Cam Akers is not. So we're going to get to him. We're going to get to him.
Call Rams and see if you can work out a deal with Cam Akers. Because Sean McVay will sell him right now, I'm pretty sure, for a hot pocket and just to tell him he looked nice.
And a medium vanilla Coke. A hot pocket and a medium vanilla Coke.
I'm pretty goddamn sure of it.
And two tickets to the movie Saw that's coming out in a couple weeks.
That's all they want. So just a hot pocket and somebody to tell him he looks nice.
That's it, man. That's all they want. Yeah, no. I think for me, when it comes to this game, however, I am gonna go Cincinnati in this one. Only because of the fact that that's not gonna happen again. Joe Burrow will not allow that to happen again. He knows how to move around with a terrible O-line. Lamar Jackson does not. And and because they are at home, and again, like I said previously, Cincinnati Bengal fans are going to have that sour taste in their mouth. They're going to want to kill Baltimore, and they're going to have they're going to have the fans on their side. I'm going to go with Cincinnati as this one as well.
I don't like how people overreact to like Cincinnati losing game week 1. It was raining. Even then, Deshaun Watson didn't do all that great either. But
no, he threw an interception straight to the home. I'm like, well, I mean, your quarterback knows about that too. You know, he just threw it straight to the motherfucker, man. Like, no one there, bro. No one there, bro. There's no one there. There is not one black jersey there except one Titan player going like this.
Hey, we got that game win.
He's like, ooh. You know, that guy was probably looking at it like, ooh. Like, ooh. So yeah, no, it looks like me and Brandon both have Cincinnati. And it's just only due to the fact that, honestly, it's going to be a defensive battle. But I just think right now, the Cincinnati offense is just, they're not going to let that happen again. So.
And plus the injuries, those injuries to the offensive line, Ryan Stanley, and Linderbaum might be out. And you got J.K. Dobbins.
I'm not really comfortable with that. If Ronnie Staley was at least questionable and Tyler Linderbaum would play, I would feel a little bit more comfortable. The fact that we're sitting on a Wednesday and it sounds more and more like, oh man, it's a little bit more serious than I thought. Yeah, that's not. It doesn't sit right with me. So yeah, we both have sense. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Next up we have the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Detroit Lions. Brandon, oh my God, Geno Smith looked like Geno Smith on Sunday. Did you see that? Did you see that, by the way? Dude, that is going to go in the mic'd up Hall of Fame vault forever. Oh my God. Yes. Like, oh my God. Like, yes, but oh my God. Geno Smith looked like Geno Smith again. And that was my worry when we made these predictions. I believe the Seattle team is good. My issue is if Geno Smith goes back to being Geno Smith, well, there you go. That's what happens. You lose to teams that you're not supposed to. On the flip side, you have the Detroit Lions, who, even though people want to put an asterisk to this freaking Kansas City Chiefs win, whatever. All right, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Jared Goff, I think, is the perfect quarterback for this Detroit Lions team right now, man. He is the perfect quarterback for this team right now, and we got to stop playing. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a top 5 wide receiver in this fucking league. I don't know why they keep like, yeah, he's good, but I have him at 6. I got him at 7. If you do not have Amon-Ra St. Brown as as a top 5 wide receiver, I don't know what else to tell you, bro. I don't know how you want me to explain it to you. Because obviously you got the first two, which is Jay Jetta and freaking Devontae Adams. It's 1 or 2. That's on you at that point. Number 3 is Tyreek freaking Hill. Number 4 for me is Stephon Diggs. Even though a lot of people want to put Cooper Kupp up there because of what he did. Fuck no, I go for consistency. Amon-Ra St. Brown has to be number 5 now. He's got to be number 5 for me. And top 5, I mean, I get it. Is there some other good wide receivers? But name me other receivers that are on other teams that you know they're going to get the ball and he could still do damage with it.
I would say I take Stephon Diggs out and put Ja'Marr Chase, and then I say it's.
I think that's tough for me. I think it's tough for me because that's so tough. And again, it's probably not a wrong list either. However you want to look at it. Now, if Ja'Marr Chase has another great freaking year, and Stephon Diggs does what he normally, it's like, all right, Stephon, this is kind of. We're seeing a pattern here, my man. Like, we're kind of seeing a pattern here where Ja'Marr Chase has been consistent. Now, it kind of sucks because I've always liked Mike Evans, but he was never going to be in that, unfortunately. Now, top 10, absolutely. Mike Evans, absolutely. But this is not here nor there. This is about who do we have, the Seattle Seahawks or the Detroit Lions? Go ahead, Brandon.
I got Aiden Hutchinson, Jared Goff, and Jahmyr Gibbs. I got Detroit. I have Detroit. Listen, yes, I am very nervous about this game. I'm not going to sit and act like I'm not. Very nervous about this game because you just came off of a massive win. They just came off of a massive loss. It seems like the perfect time to shit the bed, don't it?
Oh, always the perfect time.
Shit the bed.
Always the perfect time.
If this was old Detroit, yeah. But I don't think this is old Detroit.
No.
I think in that second half, particularly that last scoring drive that they had, I think they finally realized who they really are. And that is run the fucking ball. Yeah. That offensive line is too damn good not to run the fucking ball. Outside of Cam Akers, the Rams ran the damn ball on Seattle.
Yeah.
They ran the ball on Seattle. And that, to me, Jahmyr Gibbs is that dude. That dude is ready.
And I know people are going to watch this and going to be like, whoa, he only had, 6 carries. Yeah, but did you see what he did with those 6 carries?
See what he did with them 6 carries?
Jesus Lord.
Looked like it was stupid. Like he would turn one way and just had the whole defense be like, what the I thought I had him. What is going on?
And it's not even just Jahmyr Gibbs. I love the way how Jack Campbell played. I love the way how this secondary matched up. I love the way how a lot of this defense.
If Brian Branch is going to be your slot, if he's going to be your slot defender, that is not a bad way to go.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think people are just not. I don't think people understand. It's like, no, this Detroit team has been trying to build for years, and they finally seem like they got it right. Now, does this seem like you said, does this seem like a good time for Detroit to lose? Yeah, but I don't think so. Only because of the fact the fans know what's at stake. It's at Detroit. It is their home opener. You don't think the fans are gonna go freaking crazy on this?
And on top of that, we don't know about Todd Lockett. We don't know about the both rookie offensive tackles last year. Both of them got injured this past week. We don't.
Jason Peters got signed for that reason. There's a reason Jason Peters signed, folks.
Peters got signed. 41 years old. You think he's ready to jump into a fucking football game against Aiden Hutchinson? Really? That's really what you think?
It's not even just Aiden Hutchinson. It's the other teammate too, Harris. It's the defensive linemen. It's the linebackers. It's everything. And I don't know, man. I just think right now, the way I'm looking at this, and here's the thing. There's one thing that Seattle did not fix that they probably should have. They had to get more secondary help. They really had to. I know drafting Devin Witherspoon was the right selection, but when he's not playing, it still looks the same. And I think this is where Amon-Ra St. Brown goes off again. And that's why I have Detroit winning this game.
And here's the thing. If Detroit doesn't win that game Thursday, we're talking about Marvin Jones dropping too many fucking passes. Because he was dropping left and damn right, too.
If Marvin Jones picks up his end and Amon-Ra St. Brown does his thing, Detroit's going to win this game. Detroit's going to win this game.
Sam Laporta, too. I think he's going to have a good game. So, yeah.
Don't believe us now, but, down the road when Detroit's like winning, and it's like, oh my God, look at the build of the team. Yeah, we've been saying that for at least 2 years, motherfucker. 2 years, motherfuckers. Like,
Live fried, bitch.
like, goddamn. Now, next up, we have a interesting matchup. Two teams that lost their week one matchup. The Chargers losing a heartbreaker to the Miami Dolphins, and the Tennessee Titans losing a heartbreaker to your New Orleans Saints. So, Brandon, who gets their first victory of the year? Is it the Los Angeles Chargers or is it the Tennessee Titans?
I'm going with the quarterback that I actually know can actually play quarterback, and that's Justin Herbert. The Chargers defense still suck.
That
They suck. Oh my God, do they suck. The other Hopkins is going to have a field day if Ryan Tannehill can actually,
find them
accurately to him. He can actually throw the ball accurately to him. Yeah, the other Hopkins is going to have a great game. But Justin Herbert still threw for what? 300, 400 yards?
Yeah.
Against Miami.
Yeah.
This so-called Miami defense that's supposed to be this dangerous defense. I don't know why people continue to think Miami's going to be good defensively, but keep thinking. Yeah, the Chargers are a better team than Tennessee. Well, at least a better offensive team than Tennessee.
Yeah, offensive. I was going to say defensively. That's going to be up for debate, man.
Also, Tennessee screwed themselves last week because you're going to continuously use Derrick Henry. But I get it. You're trying to use Spears to kind of like spare Derrick Henry. But your offense is not built to spare Derrick Henry. You don't have the weapons or the quarterback.
There was a point.
Derrick Henry.
There was a point where on that 3rd and 6, I'm like, dude, if the New Orleans Saints fail to convert this 3rd and 6, the Tennessee Titans are going to win this freaking football game. They're going to win this freaking football game. And once he hit Rashid on the deep, I was like, okay, that's game. That's game. And I'm glad they called that because I'm pretty sure they weren't expecting that. You can see the secondary get a little caught off guard when they had a receiver go deep. And that was such a great call. But for me, I'm going to go with the Chargers as well. Again, the last time we saw the Chargers play, their defense, shit the bed. This week one, they had a great lead. And again, the defense shit the bed. The offense can score. That's not the issue. The offense can score. It's just the defense. They're just letting. Like, dude, what? Okay, like Brandon, if you're a defensive coordinator and you're playing against the Miami Dolphins, it's like, okay, Miami has a 4th and 17. Who do you think they're going to throw it to? Who's the guy you think they're going to throw it to?
Oh my God, yo, if I gotta hear the Chargers defense just needs to do this and shut the fuck up. Brandon Staley don't know how to coach defense. He had Aaron fucking Donald. Shut up. How many fucking times I gotta
Like,
hear
it
this?
is 4th and 17, and you know damn well Tua is looking at Tyreek Hill's way, regardless. Double cover, triple cover, Jesus is on him too. He's gonna throw his way too. And the fact that he was so still able enough to get some sort of separation, catch the ball, and get some extra yards on it, I'm like, the Chargers deserve to lose this game. They deserve to lose this game on a 4th and fucking 17. Like, how dare you? How dare you, sirs? How dare you, Brandon Staley, leave the one man that you cannot give space to, and you gave it to him.
Man to man.
Man, just man to man. When you know J.C. Jackson, when you know that J.C. Jackson was getting torched all friggin' day, and you're gonna leave him man to man against one of the fastest humans on earth. How dare you, sir? How dare you? So again, offensively, shit, the Chargers can score 100. They can score 99. The problem is the defense can give up 100. That's the problem. That's the freaking problem, man. The offense has literally in their last 2 games, they have scored 30 and they have scored 35, and they lost both games. Do what you want with it. Do what you want with it. But I got the Chargers this one.
I gave up on the Chargers when I saw them give up literally a 30-point lead in a playoff game to Trevor fucking Lawrence. I gave up.
And then we're going to talk about Trevor. Like, yes, that same Trevor Lawrence that almost shit the bed against Jackson or against Indianapolis. That same fucking guy, dude. That same guy. Anyway, yeah.
This dude threw, what, 3 picks, fumbled the ball, and came back and won that game. I'm like, what the fuck are you keeping this dude for? What are you keeping?
If there was any time for Means to be fired, it was right there. It was right there. It was right there. But again, that's just how it is. That's just how it is. Next up, we have the Chicago Bears taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Chicago losing a heartbreaker at home to the Green Bay Packers, while the Tampa Bay... Yeah, it was a heartbreaker. It was a heartbreaker. And Tampa Bay picking up a road win at Minnesota. So, Brandon, I ask you, Chicago or Tampa Bay? Excuse me.
I got Chicago. I feel so goddamn sorry that I have to say that shit. I got Chicago. Good cut. It's a divisional game. It's the Green Bay Packers. You put a lot of hope in preparation to that game, and you got your ass beat. It happens. Do I think that offensive line sucks? Not really. You play against Green Bay. They're just a better defense than you. That's it. Justin Fields is still... The problem with the damn Chicago Bears is that they're trying to make Justin Fields a tough pocket quarterback, and he is not a pocket quarterback. You have to create...
Yeah, you have to play to his strengths. That's how your team...
You have to create an offense like Philly created for Jalen Hurts last year. You have to give him a chance. Here's the problem with that. It's their head coach. He does not fit this. You got to get rid of him. Because the defense ain't fixed, and that fucking offense ain't fixed. Something's wrong. And it ain't Justin Fields. It's fucking a head coach.
When your player that you have issues with or, you don't have trust in is outperforming and you still can't win me games, I'm going to go with the guy that's giving me the better product on the field. That's just me. So I'm actually going...
The fact that they couldn't find a way to get DJ Moore open should tell you all you need to know about their coaching staff. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, it's very young. It's this team, in order to be built the right way, they need veteran presence. They need veteran presence for this team. I'm going to go Tampa Bay on this one. Only due to the fact that man, I loved Kalasia Cansey the whole draft process. Now, obviously, we weren't going to take him 7, but there was talks about us trading down, and I would have been like, you know what, perfect, fine with me. Kalasia Cansey would have looked great in that Raider uniform, but that was not what it was meant to be. But the reason I'm taking it because I think they.
Wilson. You're good.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I'm perfectly fine. All right. Like, listen, I get it. People want to be like, man, he looks slow coming off the ball. Really? Because I saw him contain the edges, and poor Javonte Williams had to take a couple hits from him on freaking Sunday. So, but whatever. What do I know? What do I know, man? What the fuck do I know? Anyway, I'm going to go Tampa Bay in this one only because of the fact that I do believe in Chicago's offensive line. Obviously, there are some injuries to it. But it's just my issue is, there's players that should be getting more playing time in Chicago. Chase Claypool should not be a starter for the Chicago Bears. And there's no way that Rashawn Johnson should be coming off the fucking bench. There's no way. There's no way. After one game, he proved to me he's the better running back. Put him with Justin fucking Fields and see if you can build something on that. But I think that's the problem. I think what it is, it's the ineptitude and it is the ignorance that is the coaching staff of the Chicago Bears that is probably going to fail this Bears season if they don't fix right now. That's why I'm going to go Tampa Bay, because I have no faith in this coaching staff. I have faith. Here's the thing. I have faith in Darnell Wright. I have faith in Justin Fields. I have faith in DJ Moore because I've seen them play and I've seen them exceed expectations. Even Darnell Wright. Let me put it to you like this. Darnell Wright against that Packers front seven, he did all he had to do and prove why he was the best right tackle in this draft. He did his thing. But yeah, the ignorance of this coaching staff, it's just that's going to be their downfall. And so that's why I have Tampa Bay.
Chicago, I want to just tell you this. You guys not good this year. There's a coach in college right now that is doing amazing. I would love to see prime time on the Chicago Bears sideline.
Okay, I'm one of those people that I truly do believe. I don't think prime would ever come to the NFL. I don't think so. I don't think. I think he's.
Yeah, you got a little bit more control in college. Yeah, a lot more.
That's what I'm saying. I think he wants that. I will say this. I mean, I know there's a couple college coaches that might come out. And I know that. One of them is just a flight away. Just saying. One of them is flight away. If
right there. Right there in Ann Arbor.
It's right there. And so it's just, it is what it is. So
he plays Chicago Bears quarterback too. So it's just.
It's a food for thought. Let's put it that way. It is a food for thought. So next up, we have the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Chiefs. Kadarius Toney played so bad, he had to delete all his social media.
The best player Detroit ever found.
I'm telling you, man, I wish I could find that meme so I could send it to you. I never got to thank you, and you never will. Like, oh my God. And then you have the Jacksonville Jaguars, who literally almost crapped the bed because they almost lost to Indianapolis. And I will say this, though. I do feel bad for Anthony Richardson because, God, he took that nasty. He took that hit.
If he don't turn over that ball, the Colts probably win that game.
Oh, 100%. 100%, yeah. But yeah, no, I just hope that Anthony Richardson knows now to slide instead of dive because that was nasty. That was nasty. But in this instance, Chris Jones is back, signing a 1-year extension, which means at the end of this year, Chris Jones will hit the free agent market. It's inevitable because they're not going to put the tag on him again. They probably learned their lesson. And Travis Kelce is a questionable to return. And even if he was, does he really fix the issues of your wide receivers dropping the ball?
Screw the wide receivers dropping the ball. Does he fix the offensive line? Them dudes suck.
Like, I have never seen I've seen Patrick Mahomes move, but that was the first time where I actually had to see him Like, run, motherfucker, run. So, Brendan, I ask you, who do you got? Do you have the Chiefs or do you have the Jacksonville Jaguars?
I hate to say it, but I got Kansas City.
Okay.
Chris Jones. Listen, Trevor Lawrence made 2 throws, and everybody replayed it on SportsCenter like he made the greatest throws of all time.
Oh, of course. Why wouldn't? He's the next Peyton. He's the next Peyton Manning, bro.
It was a lot. It was too much. Now put that Kansas City defense with now Chris Jones that played against Detroit, against Trevor Lawrence. He's gonna shit the bed at home. It's not gonna be the same. And do I think that secondary of Kansas City is great? Fuck no.
No.
Do I think Chris Jones makes up a lot of the goddamn problems that
Makes up the difference? Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Here.
So listen, I don't see Jacksonville. And Jacksonville, by the way, last week got burnt by Michael Pittman. I don't want to hear this shit.
Oh yeah. Did you see that?
Fucking Pittman, bro. It's not even a.
It was a dump off, and he ran it for a touchdown. I'm like, what are you guys doing out there?
Yo, I saw Michael Pittman score like that. I'm like, oh my god, Kansas City's gonna kill him. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I'm pretty sure Kansas City could figure that out. They could figure out at least 1 or 2 receivers that could get open for whatever the reason. Because Tony didn't catch a lot of passes late in the game. Okay, but Justin Winston was. He was catching.
Oh, Justin Ross.
Justin Winston, 84.
Yes, he was. He's
that deep threat. I believe he will be deep this week. And I think he's going to catch a couple passes and touchdowns this goddamn week. That's why I got him FanDuel. So I do believe he's going to
it's just bad. I think overall it's just bad. So it's actually pretty funny. I'm actually going to go the opposite route. I'm actually going to take Jacksonville in this one. Only because of the fact of this. I am happy that Chris Jones is back, and he probably does make up for the factor of, trying to, obviously he is a game changer. Like, let's not be oblivious to the fact that, Chris Jones is a game changer on defense. That is 100% true. My issue, even if Kelsey comes back, you just said it. Does that fix the offensive line? Does that fix the receivers dropping the ball? Does that help the running backs almost getting killed by behind the line of scrimmage in every damn snap? And we're not going to act that Jacksonville does not have some pretty good defensive linemen and a pretty solid linebacker trio. I expect this to be closer than what I think people think. I think people are just expecting Kansas City to blow out Jacksonville, or people are expecting Jacksonville to win huge because of the absence of Travis Kelce. Guys, it ain't going to be that, but I will say this. I think if Trevor Lawrence can just get out of his own damn way, the Jacksonville Jaguars would probably have home field advantage throughout this whole season in the playoffs. Honest to God. But obviously, Trevor Lawrence has to prove that he's the next Peyton Manning and Tom Brady duo. So he's going to continue to get in his way, and he's going to continue to cost the game or his teammates games. So keep doing you. But if he were to just stay out of his own way and be a super game manager, the Jacksonville Jaguars would be one of the better teams in the NFL. But it is what it is. But I'm going to go Jacksonville this week. And it's very weird for me to believe that Patrick Mahomes could go 1-2. I just have a feeling that it could happen. Now, if it doesn't, hey, that's great too. But if it does, then do you understand how SportsCenter is going to be on Monday? You understand that? Do you understand the headlines of Patrick Mahomes going 0-2? Oh my God, the world is falling. It's the end of the world. What's going on in Kansas City? Dude, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. As a local Raider fan, you see the smile on my face, like, yes, finally some disturbance in the force. Yes. But moving on, we have here we go. Indianapolis taking on Houston. Indianapolis playing their second straight division game. The Houston Texans coming off a pretty tough loss. But people are going to look at the score and say, like, man, Baltimore really dominated Houston. I don't really see it like that. What I really saw was Houston competing. They fought it. Obviously, is there going to be some growing pains? Yes, absolutely. And Anthony Richardson, up until that point of the turnover and the injuries, Anthony Richardson was having a really good football game. I mean, he was really doing well. Now, obviously, that hit he took, I don't know what the consensus is if he is going to come back. I mean, because that was a nasty hit. That was one of those where I was just like, oh, I see it from a mile away, and sure enough, it happened. But with the Houston Texans, so anybody that had any doubt that if Will Anderson is that guy, Will Anderson is that fucking guy. All right, he's that fucking guy. Just put. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean just Will Anderson. DPOY Will Anderson. Our DPOY, because he's gonna win Rookie Defensive Player of the freaking year if he keeps playing like this. Like if he keeps playing like this, yeah, just cast the votes. Like he should be the first one of the unanimous players to win this award this year if he keeps playing like that. And obviously, CJ Stroud, was there some struggles? Yeah, but he doesn't. His best receiver is Nico Collins. And he's actually making them look freaking decent, bro. I can't wait till CJ Stroud gets a go-to guy. I really can't wait. Oh, it's good.
You can put Tank on the field. Just let's see what happens.
It's going to be great when CJ Stroud gets like a true number one go-to guy. Oh, the world is not ready for that. The world's not ready for that shit. But Brandon, who do you got? Do you have Indianapolis or do you have Houston?
I have Houston. I think they win this game. It's at home. Like you just said, Anthony Richardson, you don't really know if he's able to go, and if he is, you got to still deal with Will goddamn Anderson. That's you still have to deal with Will Anderson. That's not something.
He goes, didn't I get enough of you at Alabama?
like I saw you last year. I'm pretty sure I saw you last year. Why? I feel like Houston could win this game at home. And here's the thing about Houston: it doesn't have to be a high-scoring game. You can just play defense and CJ Stroud.
And I want people to realize this. Like when they were down and they were still causing 3 and outs, the hype of that team, like the fact that they weren't down on themselves, being down 22-9 in the fourth quarter like that, and they were still causing 3 and outs, and they were still having each other, playing for each other. That kind of shows you that DeMeco Ryans has taken this team in the right freaking direction.
They got players on that team that care.
Oh, they do care.
They got players on that team that care. As young as they are, they got players on that team that care. And I feel
CJ looked great, Timo. CJ did.
I feel like a lot of people want to just write this dude off, and I don't know why. Because for all the shit y'all talk about CJ Stroud, Bryce Young sucked last week.
It was pretty rough. I mean, the first drive he looked okay, and I was like, all right, he's looking good. By the fourth drive, I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
I'm just saying. I think Houston at home, Will Anderson is going to show up, show out. Derek Stingley don't have to do a lot. Just play your man. And with CJ Stroud just has to make 1 or 2 plays. And I think Dameon Pierce is going to have a way better fucking game than he did against Baltimore. That shit. Yeah.
And here's the thing. It just seemed like their spirits weren't broken, even when they were down by a lot. Because even when they made the final play, they were still playing when they had nothing to play for. So you could tell that DeMeco Ryans put in an attitude of, you can beat us, but you're not going to break our spirit.
And I can't even say it's DeMeco Ryans because that's the same attitude they had last fucking year.
With Lovie Smith. So I think they got lucky. I think the players, I can't say the same thing about ownership, but I think the players got lucky that they've had back-to-back coaches where it's like they're going to play hard for it. Because if this was any other coach that, they just did not believe in, this would be so bad. But the fact that they're playing hard to the end of the whistle, it's a very good sign that the Houston Texans are going to build this thing right. So, but in this case, I do have Houston winning. Now, it would be nice if Anthony Richardson does play because that would be the first AR versus CJ Stroud matchup. And that's what I want to see. But, hopefully we get that. Next up, okay, look, we're just going to pass by these next couple games, and you'll see why. Next up, we got the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Los Angeles Rams. The 49ers defense picked up where it left off last year, prior to the NFC Championship game, just dominating as hell. And the Rams got an amazing win over the Seattle Seahawks because Geno Smith decided to go back to being Geno Smith from the New York Jets era. So, Brandon, please tell me you got San Francisco in this one.
Sean McVay has never beaten the San Francisco 49ers in the regular season.
I think there was a stat up. I think what is it now? They've lost 8 in a row.
9 in a row?
8 in a row to the 49ers in regular season play.
Yeah, that offensive line is not great. And despite beating Seattle, you ain't beating San Francisco.
That's a whole different animal.
That's a whole nother animal. Seattle doesn't have Nick Bosa. They don't have Fred Warner. You're probably going to lose.
Yeah, we could just move right on. I got San Francisco too. We could probably move on away from this one as well. Giants, Arizona. One team has yet to score, and one team, I have them pretty much possibly winning a game or two this year. But I'm going to go with the Giants only due to the fact that the Arizona Cardinals have no freaking ounce of talent whatsoever on that team. And at least the Giants do. So, Brandon, we cool with the Giants on this one?
To be honest, I got Arizona winning this game.
Oh, my God.
I got Arizona winning this game. You talking about Geno Smith going back to Geno Smith on the
No, don't you start. Don't you start. What, Daniel Jones went to 2 years ago? Like, what are we talking about, bro? What are we talking about?
Daniel Jones in a throwback game. He showed up.
Yeah, he threw the ball back into the fucking stands is what he did. Like,
when I saw Daniel Jones with Saquon Barkley caught the ball, I got hit, and the ball went up. I said, this shit is over. I saw that shit. I was like, this shit is over.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't agree with this one, but go ahead.
I think Arizona win. Listen, I've said this. Arizona's going to win at least 1 or 2, maybe even 3 games. I think Arizona played at least better than they played. I thought they would play against Washington. They showed up in that Washington game, which I kind of thought they would.
I was getting ready to write an article of why Ron Rivera should be fired today if they lost to Arizona. Like, they should be fired today.
Listen, do I think the Giants can win this game? Of course I think the Giants can fucking win this game. It's kind of obvious. But I do not trust Daniel Jones. At least with the Cardinals, I know they're tanking. The Giants need to start thinking about it.
The Giants need to have this internal discussion of, you know what's messed up? You know what's really messed up? Because they played at MetLife and it's a turf field. And every time Daniel Jones got hit and everything, you see him come up. It's like, dude, his helmet just kept getting more and more and more of the pebbles of the field. But before you know it, it said NY at the end of it. It was just a full black helmet. Like, they shaved it to the beginning of the helmet making process.
Listen, I don't trust Daniel Jones to save my goddamn life. I don't trust him. I don't trust him. I trust Saquon, but I think that offense.
And I think that's why they're going to win. I think Saquon is just going to take over this game.
And I would not be surprised if he does, but I also feel like I don't trust Daniel fucking Jones to win me a game. Like, it's just. And 40-0 is one thing. They took his soul. Like,
you know what messed up? Even with like 5 minutes to go, they still told him to go out there. And I'm like, for what? For what, bro? Like, I think Brian Dable was intentionally trying to get this motherfucker. Like, you know what? If we get him hurt, we could probably get some of that money back.
I'm not just, like, we forget that Brian Dable literally, when they signed Daniel Jones, was like, we need to sign Saquon Barkley now. He said this shit.
That was also, by the way, I want people to remember that was also the same day when Sean McDermott went up to the podium and said, I am extremely concerned that Stephon Diggs is not here. Those are two sound bites that are going to live together. Brian Dable saying, yeah, we need to pay Saquon now. And, I'm extremely concerned that Stephon Diggs is not here right now.
That was the best goddamn sound bite of all time. He's like, I am very concerned.
I'm just like, because usually when you see coaches out there, they don't like to show emotions. Like, they like to play, house cards. Like, we're just gonna work with the ability that we have and the players that we
He was like, "Fuck that, I'm scared."
like. Because you know what I'm talking about, right? You're never gonna see a coach go out there and be like, "Oh man, we don't have our star wide receiver. I don't know what to do." You know,
He could not fake that shit. He's like, I'm very concerned.
like he literally went up there. First question: where's Stephon Diggs? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I am very concerned that he's not here. I'm just like, yeah. Way to show your cards there, Chief. Like, God, because you expect them to have the poker face. Like, hey, you know what? Like the whole thing. Because the whole time, during the Raiders training camp, every day they asked them, "What's up with the Josh Jacobs situation? What's up with the Josh Jacobs?" And Josh McDaniels was like, "Hey, we're trying to get it worked out, and we're gonna work with what we have here." And that's a normal answer, coach. Now, deep down, I know what he's trying to say. Hey, I know what he's trying to say. Like, hey, I want the motherfucker here too, but until we come to a deal, he ain't fucking coming. Sean McDermott dropped his cards and said, "Nah, I'm very concerned that he's not fucking here right now." Like he said, "Fuck this." He said, "Fuck this. I fold. I'm very concerned that he's not here right now." All right, that's what happened. Look, the reason I have the Giants is because they have Saquon, and honestly, that's enough to beat an Arizona team like this. So moving on. We have the New York Jets taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Brandon, please tell me you have Dallas winning this one.
I got Dallas.
Yeah, look, man. There's nothing against you guys, Jets fans. It's nothing against. My issue is it's what I've been saying this whole offseason is, yeah, that's a really good Dallas team that they have over there, and I kind of saw that from a distance, and I'm kind of like.
I still don't know if Dallas offense is good. I think they're gonna shit the bed Sunday. I think they're gonna.
No, I think because remember it was heavily raining on that MetLife Stadium. I think now in a controlled environment, I think we're really gonna get to see what this offense is really gonna look like.
Here's the thing, like I said, I don't know if the Dallas Cowboys offense is good at all either. They didn't have to really do shit. They were up like 22 points by the time they got on the fucking football field. Like, they didn't have to do anything.
That must have been such a great feeling for Dallas fans that they could turn off the game at halftime and know that their team won.
I don't know if Dak is good. With CeeDee Lamb's going to get covered by Sauce Gardner. We shall see how that looks. And I don't know that the Jets defense is just as good as Dallas defense. The only reason why I got Dallas winning this game is because I think Dak Prescott can make at least a play, and win the game.
And Zach Wilson is just a turnover away from this team going terrible.
I just feel like you got both offensive lines that both suck. Neither one of these.
Oh God, yeah. Like, don't get me wrong.
We acted like the Dallas Cowboys are great. We didn't see the fucking offense. That offense didn't have to do shit. Just step on the field and maybe knee it for the next 20 seconds. Dallas could have literally got on the field and kneed the ball the entire fucking offense. And the damn game would still have been 40-0.
That's rough, man.
I might have scored 50 if Dallas would have did that to the offense. Just like, get on the field and just need the ball. We're gonna put them back on the field and see what happens. Like,
we're gonna as long as they keep putting Daniel Jones out there, we're gonna keep trusting our defense.
We got a chance to kill him.
Yeah, no, I got Dallas in this one too. Because, like you said, I think Dak Prescott will make one more play, and Zach Wilson will create one more turnover.
How about this? If you're Nathaniel Hackett, right, and you got the job last year at Denver because everybody thought you would get Aaron Rodgers, and then you get Aaron Rodgers with the Jets. In the first drive you have with him, he tears his Achilles. Don't you think you might be a bad luck to Aaron Rodgers? I'm just assuming, like, these fucking teams be getting you here, and you don't even get Aaron Rodgers fully. Like, you just don't even get Aaron Rodgers
Okay,
fully.
by the way, I will not have any Aaron Rodgers disrespect slander right now. I really want to find the guy who made that highlight video of, like, and now, fuck it, here are the 2023 Aaron Rodgers highlights, and it's him running onto the field. I'm like, dude, understand this. When Aaron Rodgers took the field, it was 12 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first quarter. When he got hurt, it was 11 minutes and 15 seconds. The Jets had Aaron Rodgers for a total of 75 seconds. 75 seconds. 4 plays, motherfuckers. 4.
Oh, my God. I was like, that is the worst to see that shit.
That fan is still my favorite though. That Jets fan, the one that was flipping off the camera, that dude is my favorite fan ever. Like, yeah, fuck you guys.
No, fuck ESPN, because they literally was like, "This is when he got hurt. Look at the fuck." I'm like, "God, dude."
Like, yo, ESPN, chill, bro. Like, and then what's weird is like they zoom in and all you see is the rupture, and you're just like, yo, ESPN, chill, bro.
Oh my god, that was bad. That was good. But Brees Hall is back. God damn, that dude.
Oh yeah, no, he's fine.
When he broke that run, I was like, if he scores this touchdown, what the fuck?
I mean, Brees Hall looks like he never had that injury, which kind of has to be concerning for Dalvin Cook now because it's like, oh well.
What you said? That is the worst signing I've ever seen. What the fuck did you sign him for? Because he clearly was not ready.
Like, I get it, but yeah, no, it's just I just think Dallas is really. Here's the thing, I think their offense will create a little bit more plays than the Jets offense because I've seen the Jets offense with the Zach Wilson and I've seen the Cowboys offense with the Dak Prescott, and more often than not, the Cowboys have more success than the New York Jets. Give me the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the Washington Commanders taking on the Denver Broncos. So Washington squeaking out a win against Arizona, who I have picking first in this year's draft. And Denver losing a I mean, I can't even say heartbreaker because it's like, dude, after 7 times, like, okay, how many? I don't have any more words to put of the Denver Broncos losing to the Raiders anymore. I have nothing. I have nothing. So Brandon, who do you have? Do you have Washington or do you have Denver?
If Washington finally decides to just let Brian Robinson be the goddamn running back, this would be such an easy decision. Just let him be the running back. I got Denver.
Yeah.
I got Denver. Sean Payton needs to stop acting like this is the Saints and doing all side kicks because that was the dumbest shit I've ever seen. What the fuck was that?
And here's the thing. I don't know if he like looked at it and be like, it's the Raiders offense. We can handle this. Yes, the Raiders offense, who was 12th in overall in offense last year, has no problem of moving the ball up and down the field. And you're going to give them the best position they'll probably ever have in the regular season at your own 40. And they score a touchdown in less than like 3 minutes. Yeah, very smart, Sean.
The best part of that whole thing was Denver got the ball, and they were so happy. They were like, "We got this." And then the ref was like, "Yeah, illegal touching."
That attitude went from like the happiest you'll ever see, like our luck's about to turn, to.
Amazing.
And here's the thing about it too, because this whole off season, I just heard, like anything that was wrong, anybody, Scary Terry, hell yeah, Scary Terry's a top 10 in my opinion. Yeah, he's a top 10. He deserves to be top 10. But, what I heard from Sean Payton was, anything that was wrong with the players last year with the coaching staff, you're not going to see that. Well, I still saw Denver score 16 motherfucking points. I don't know where else to go with this. I got Denver too.
Am I the only one that thinks Sean Payton might just really hate Russell Wilson? Am I the only one that thinks?
I mean, there was the whole baby comment. There was. There was the whole baby comment. There was the whole "I don't need God, I just need you to play quarterback" comment. I really do not think Sean Payton and Russell Wilson are gonna be like buddies anytime. Like, I'm pretty sure Russell Wilson, if he were to go to Pete Carroll, like, hey, you know what, Pete, you're probably right, man. Do you want to run it back a couple more times before I gotta go and you gotta go? Because my head coach right now does not like me. I got my first coach fired, and this coach doesn't even like me. So, can we just run it? Can we go back? Can we just go back and call it even? I'm sorry, but yeah, I got Denver in this one only due to the fact that Denver's defense Oh, it's much improved. 100%, it's much improved. And the offensive line, I was a little disappointed, to be honest with you. I thought they would put up a little bit of like to protect Russell, and Russell did his thing, but I couldn't tell you how many times that Russell could not stay in the pocket because somebody was about to hit him, and that's why he got sacked twice. And that's kind of where I'm kind of like, with the names that the Broncos have on the offensive line, I was expecting a little bit more of like protection for Russell to make sure that he can get it going. But yeah, I got Denver in this one. I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, I got Denver only because they're at home.
Yeah. Oh boy. Next up, we have the high-scoring Miami Dolphins taking on the chipper and always competing New England Patriots. By the way, can we give Mac Jones his fucking praise? He did all he could against that Philadelphia Eagles team. He did all he could. All right, and all Kendrick Bourne had to do was go back to his fundamentals and drag his fucking foot in that first down marker. Just drag it, my man. Drag it. And by the way, he looks like he rejuvenated Hunter Henry because that was the first time I've seen Hunter Henry play like that in a really long freaking time. I'm like, oh, damn. Like, oh, damn. Hunter Henry's actually involved in the passing game? That's dope. I thought that was going to be more of a Mike Jasewski thing, but do you, Hunter? Do you, man? But Miami, of course, we know what's up, man. They're a high fly powered offense all game. The defense, on the other hand, well,
all trash.
like I have never seen two sides of the coin where you look at the offense, it's like all class Olympians, and then you look at the defense and you're like, wow. Now, kudos to Christian Wilkins for finishing the game, but we have been more than that, man. So, Brandon, I ask you, who do you have? Do you have Miami or do you have New England?
Ladies and gentlemen, this Sunday night, you're going to see the AFC East champion emerge. I know it's just week 2, and people are going to be like, what?
It's just week 2.
I get it, but it's week 2, but you're about to see the AFC East champion emerge. And that's New England Patriots, because that's exactly who that's going to win this game. Listen, Tyreek Hill, awesome, great. I'm happy for you. That shit ain't happening against the Patriots. That offensive line.
Did you see the Patriots defense, by the way? Like, they were flying, bro. They were flying.
That offensive line for Miami did not get tested. They didn't really have to worry about a lot of shit. I promise you.
And I know people are going to hear you say that and be like, well, what about Bozo and Mac? What about them?
Bill Belichick is not about to be the dumbest. Bill Belichick knows more defense than Mike McDaniels knows offense. I'm pretty fucking sure he ain't going to be like, hey, you know what we should do? We should go man-to-man with Tyreek Hill. That's a fucking amazing thought process. We should all do that. That's smart.
Beautiful.
That shit ain't happening.
And we're going to put our worst corner on him while we're at it. We're going to put our worst corner on him just to make it even better.
Just to make it make sense. Yeah, there's a reason why he let J.C. Jackson just walk in free agency, ladies and gentlemen, because he can figure it the fuck out. Christian Gonzalez, by the way, who we both said, probably should be number 1 cornerback, took it off the damn board. He looked really fucking good, didn't he?
Yeah, that's a scary combo with the whole Jonathan Jones and the Christian Gonzalez. And then it's not only that, it's the whole starting secondary, with the Jalen Mills and players like that. I'm just like, dude, it's not going to be easy. And that's why, here's the thing. The rain was already a factor. But when you put that type of defense out there, it's going to be impossible for anybody to throw that. That's why Jalen Hurts could not throw. And I'm going to be honest with you. That Eagles offense did not look good. But again, that's more credit to the Patriots defense of what they did. Now, the issue is, Mac Jones, my guy, needs a freaking go-to wide receiver. He needs a go-to because, goddamn.
Here's the thing. Like I said, he just need a competent offensive coordinator. He got it. So now it feels like, to me, New England has a chance. And again, the Jets are now hurt.
Jets are hurt.
They're not going to be that team. Buffalo is done to me. They're done.
Do you think New England right now is probably looking at the Raiders right now and going, just beat these sons of bitches and we'll take care of the rest? Just beat these sons of bitches.
This is the thing. Like, I think people don't understand this. Like, Miami's defense is still not good.
And that's even with the addition of everything that they've added, and they still haven't. Now I get it. Jalen Ramsey is not going to come back anytime soon. But even if he was on that field, what was he going to do exactly? Like, what was he going to do that made you feel like, yeah, he's got it? Like, what was he going to do?
And that's the thing. Like, I just feel like that game that they had against the Chargers, this is not the goddamn Chargers. This is what everybody think Brandon Staley should be. You're about to play against Bill goddamn Belichick. He is not about to have you have 460 fucking.
And I would be damned. I would be damned if New England goes 0-2 at home, which is why I agree with you. I'm going to go with the New England Patriots here as well. Look, it's very hard. When Bill Belichick loses, it's already hard. But it's very rare for me to see him lose back-to-back tough games, important games like this one. I think New England can. Now, is it going to be easy? Probably not. Probably not. But do I think they could squeak out a win?
Well,
I think they can.
I wouldn't say it won't be easy because if Miami can't run the ball, all you are telling them, all you are is a passing team. If you can't run the ball, all you are is a passing team. So why the hell are we going to be rushing 3 or 4 people? We could just bring 3 and then have 8 in the fucking secondary. Throw the ball. Good luck to it. Throw the damn ball.
Yeah, and that's basically what it's going to come down to. So I mean, I'm okay with it. I think it's going to be an interesting matchup. It's just, man, this Sunday night. This Sunday night football matchup is going to be very telling because we could be looking this in like week 12, week 13. Like, could you imagine if this team would have won? This, I think this is the type of feel, and this is why this is my game of the week because we're not going to be talking about it next week. We're not going to be talking about it in 2 weeks or even 3 weeks. Give it about 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks when we come back and be like, hey, remember that Sunday night matchup in week 2 where this is kind of pretty much the deciding factor of it all? Well, there you go. That's what happened. This is why this is my game of the week right here.
I think people, like I said, man, I've been saying this. I said this when we did predictions. I have the Patriots winning the AFC East. I get it. Miami has firepower. The Jets had Aaron Rodgers. Buffalo's been running.
No, I mean, I still had the Jets at 4th, and people were ready to crucify me. So,
but I'm telling people, like, Mac Jones had no number 1 receiver and got them to the playoffs his rookie damn year. I'm pretty sure the Patriots can figure it the fuck out. He's now got Bill O'Brien. He doesn't have to be the play call. He doesn't have to be the whole thing. He doesn't have to be a head coach.
He doesn't have to put in his game plan and make it work.
He just has to just do that.
Because obviously Matt Patricia was not going to do anything for him. But anyway.
I feel like this team, I feel like the Patriots are way better than people want to give them credit for. You can play against the Eagles, and Mac Jones did that against that defense. You telling me against the Miami defense that don't really have a true number 1 corner like that outside Xavier Howard, but that's pretty much it. Are you afraid of Miami's defense? If they can get pressure on you too, that's a problem. It's a massive goddamn problem.
Yeah.
So I
mean, it's going to be, like I said, I think it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. So, now Monday we have 2 Monday Night Football games, which is kind of weird because usually we say that I remember that's usually a week 1 tradition, but now there's.
What the hell's going on with that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think about it either. But hey, it is what it is. So the first slate at is the New Orleans Saints taking on the Carolina Panthers, a NFC South division rivalry. Derek Carr made his debut, and well, he looked like Derek Carr, folks. Let's put it like that. And Carolina, Bryce Young made his rookie debut, and he realized that he does not have the same offensive line talent that he did in Alabama, and this is going to be a work in progress. Or the wide receivers, or the running backs.
A lot of defense now.
Yeah. So, Brandon, who do you got in this game and why?
Usually, week 2 in Carolina for the Saints. This is all I could do. But I got the Saints. If we had the same quarterback like Jameis Winston, Andy Dalton, somebody like that, all right, he did. Yeah, Carolina wins this game. But now hearing that J.C. Horn is also going to be out, and he's dealing with a hamstring injury, that's your best corner. He's gone.
And that stinks because I really liked JC when he came out of college, and it's unfortunate that he's had to suffer.
He's been more hurt than he's been on a field.
It's the same with the Titans corner, Fairley. It sucks because I really like the way they played, and it's just unfortunately injuries just got him, and that sucks.
And I think also this isn't the same Saints offense, so you're not getting the same Saints plays. You don't know.
Oh no, you are not.
And so it's. And I actually think we're going to run the ball better in this game. We didn't do any of that against Tennessee, but I think we're going to run the ball better in this game. I just feel like for what Carolina is, they don't have the offensive line. They don't really even have the running game. The Saints running game, despite what Derrick Henry did in the first half, we shut them down in the second half. They could not run the ball. So, and you got Bryce Young, who, yes, opened up his home debut, but you're not playing against that Saints defense with that type of pressure. And something we haven't had in a long time, turnovers. We actually got turnovers in that game against Tennessee. And we did that against DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah. 100%.
Carolina has that can even do that.
Oh no, 100%. Yeah, no,
I got us. I think we win. Doesn't have to be it doesn't have to. Here's the thing about the Saints. It doesn't have to be a 20 blowout. It has to just be the same game you had against Tennessee. Derek Carr just made a play late. We would win.
Minus the turnover. Minus the
turnovers. And that's it. I think the Saints are going to do what they did this last week. And I actually think they're going to use Taysom Hill a little bit more in the running situation.
I think so too.
So, yeah, I got the Saints.
I have the Saints too. And for all the reasons you said too, I don't think this offensive line is ready. If they weren't ready for an Atlanta pass rush, I don't think they're ready for a New Orleans pass rush. I don't think they're
the little brother pass rush of Atlanta, because that's literally what the fuck Atlanta has become.
Yeah, I don't think they're ready. I don't think they're ready for the full-time Saints pass rush, and I don't think he's ready for that type of secondary as well. Yeah, no, I got New Orleans, and I think they walk away comfortably with a good enough win to where it's like, okay, we're the better team in the NFC South. Tampa Bay's just here until we knock them out. And lastly, we have Cleveland taking on Pittsburgh. Cleveland dominating Cincinnati, and then Pittsburgh getting dominated by the 49ers. So, Brandon, who do you have here? Do you have the Browns or do you have the Steelers?
If Cleveland offensive line was healthy, I would go Cleveland. But since they're not, I'm going Pittsburgh. Just like you said with Bill Belichick, we can't see him losing 2 times at home. I can't see Mike Tomlin losing 2 times at home. I just can't. Especially the way they lost. I don't see that shit happening again.
No, that would be cause for concern at that point.
I don't see that shit happening.
Now,
again.
here's the issue with Pittsburgh, though. They are going to be out Cameron Hayward. They are going to be out Deontay Johnson.
Yeah.
Now, is that huge? Yes.
Yeah.
But I think because of the injuries that Cleveland has, and remember, Deshaun looked like he's still trying to learn his receivers. Because there was a ball he threw it straight to the linebacker, and the receiver wasn't even close. So I'm just like, so maybe they're still working on communication. Kenny Pickett will figure it out. The Pittsburgh Steelers with Mike Tomlin, they will figure it out. I think it's going to be an exciting game, but I don't think it's going to be somewhere where Mike Tomlin cannot figure this out. So I got the Pittsburgh Steelers winning this game as well. So
yeah, I got to help. TJ Watt against that Cleveland offensive line, who just lost one of their best offensive linemen for the entire year. That's not good.
And it's not even just, TJ Watt. It's Alex Highsmith. It's a bunch of these other guys. It's their defensive ends. It's a bunch of these other guys. So, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. But I'm very excited to see how this week plays out. But other than that, that is our show, my man. That is week 2 in the books. We are done. I want to thank everybody that tuned in. I want to thank you all so much for the support. As always, you can catch us here next Wednesday when we get ready for our week 3 predictions. See how this goes, and then we'll go from there. Until then, Brandon, always awesome talking to you, my man. You have a wonderful night. Everybody, enjoy your week 2 matchups. Have fun. Enjoy your weekend. Peace.